every time I watch people's vlogs, I'm like, oh, my life has to be like more exciting to like record my weekend, but I'm like, I'm sure there are also girlies who live at home in their 20s who don't do that much and go out sometimes and are trying to make friends to find stuff to do with, and so they do a lot of solo stuff that are maybe watching my channel, so that's you. Hey girl, hey best friend. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and get ready to spend a weekend with me. I am trying to decide now if I want to watch My Life with the Walter Boys or the Buccaneers. I was going to watch the Buccaneers and then I heard about My Life with the Walter Boys and I was like, I kind of feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice by my younger self, a disservice by not like looking into a book that that wasn't one of my more favorite books when I was on Wattpad when I was in like middle school, but it is one that I basically read almost up until the end, and so I'm like, I feel like I need to fulfill the dreams of my younger self. Also, more so, I remember like this book being one of the first that I saw go from like being on Wattpad to I think like a more traditionally published book on like Amazon, and that was like mind-boggling to me as like somebody who really admired a lot of Wattpad authors and wanted to write one myself. And so I feel like I'm kind of answering my own question, like I'm probably gonna watch My Life with the Walter Boys. And then maybe Buccaneers like another time. I feel like I've also been seeing like so many clips of like the Buccaneers through TikTok, so like I'm a little bit spoiled for it. I mean, I know basically what happens in the My Life with the Walter Boys too, but at least I expect to be entertained. Like, do I expect it to be great? No, but where would be the fun in that, you know? I'm not the biggest fan of love triangles. It's not really my shtick, more so just because I feel like, and I always tell people if they have like recommendations for this, please give it to me. But unless one, they're brothers in the show, so I would never want this to happen in that regard. But unless the characters like all end up together, where you can like palpably, like, you cannot tell like who is going to be the end choice. Like at the end of like the series, film, book, show, I'm always just so like, this was like so much more lackluster than I thought, because I feel like what's really fun about love triangles is like, I mean, fun but also like super stressful is like not knowing who like the end goal is gonna be. But like when you can obviously tell, it just kind of goes me like, the chemistry sometimes of like the person that the author like obviously wants you to choose is like sometimes enough to carry the series, but like when it's not, it's just kind of like, I kind of feel like the choice was just kind of made for me, you know? And it's even less so that, but when it comes to like younger brother, older brother, I also want to make clear when I'm talking about them all ending up together, it is not when two of the choices are related and was like, nobody is related. Nobody is related. But when it comes to younger brother, older brother, it is always, more often than not, sometimes I think maybe there's like a series or two when this has like not happened. I mean, I've just been like, oh, okay, that was different. When the main lead, more often than not, like when are they not gonna choose the brooding, older, like, I've got stuff going on, usually has like a car, older brother? Almost never, even though the audience knows that like the younger brother, he's usually kinder, he usually becomes like the main character's like best friend or just like a good confidant, they never end up together. So sometimes it just feels like you already know what's gonna happen, so it's kind of just like, I have nothing wrong with like knowing what's gonna happen, but it's more so just like how we end up getting there. They're fighting over the main character, blah blah blah, all that stuff. My also pet peeve in love triangles, which I feel like I've seen happen too often, is that like if it's like a twist, but like you maybe couldn't have seen it coming, but like in the grand scheme of things it's like not too surprising, I'll accept it. But when it comes to films, books, shows where like it's very obvious, especially if this is like a more, let's talk about books specifically, when it's like more than one book and like in the third book we end up encountering the third book, which is usually like the finale for most like series, where one of the choices just starts acting like super out of character in a way that tells me like, you needed, like maybe up until that point it's been like, who are they gonna choose, who does the audience want, like who is the main character gonna choose, that the author very obviously wanted you to like choose one person. That is like a personal pet peeve of mine. I've seen it happen in a couple of series. Like again, when I feel like it's done like well, when there's like enough build up where I can maybe like be like, oh, I didn't expect that, but I can look back in the series and see like how that wouldn't have happened. Maybe it's like a betrayal, maybe like they're not the person they expected them to be, maybe it just like hasn't worked out. But like I can very well tell when like up until that point one of the choices had been like maybe like the perfect choice, or the main lead is like waffling very much between the two, and like one of them does like something super crazy to the point like that it's so out of character that I'm like, and I feel like my now I'm kind of getting away from my bigger pet peeve is when people go on to say like, oh, like this was all like by the author's design, so there's no way you could like disagree with it, like as the audience person like reading. But I'm like,
Cannot trick me. You cannot trick me.
I don't agree with that because like, of course, like the author knows like what they were doing, but on the other hand, I'm also like, I think it's like, okay to like disagree with like the choices like made in some books, like, but I just hate the complete 360 of a character's like the way they behave without explanation is what I mean, in favor of just like obviously making like the main lead like choose the other person. It just feels like very lazy to me personally. So I'll just say I'm going to watch My Life with the Walter Boys, and what do I think it'll end up being before I watch? Maybe like a 6 or a 7. I'm not expecting greatness, but I think this will be the perfect show to like kick off my Friday nights, and so let's go. Okay, I'm really not that far in. I'm like 15-ish minutes. She's like arrived at the house, like all that good stuff. But I feel like one, maybe I don't remember just like how, maybe it's just because I'm older, like I don't remember like how kind of callous and mean they were to her. Not even just like the boys, but like the people at school, like the little orphan Annie comment. I don't know, like I feel like this is getting to me more because like I feel like I didn't remember in the original book if she had a sister or if her sister died. If she did, that just seems like so much more traumatic to me. Already losing your parents in a sudden car crash is like already traumatic, and then like also your older sister, like your whole family like gone. That just feels like, I know people are probably going through their own things that are going to be explained like later in the series, but I'm like, what happened to empathy? What happened to kindness? On another note, I know they're probably not too far apart in age. Like if I looked up the actors' ages, like it probably, why my computer is closing. It really probably wouldn't be that far apart in age. Like Alex, the person playing Alex, Cole, and Jackie. Cole for some reason, and I mean I'm not like not used to them casting adults to play teenagers in shows. That's like very common. But I think my whole thing is like if one of them is gonna look like adults, like they all need to look like adults. I think my thing is like maybe it's because of like height, but I also think it's because of like how, in particular, like Alex, he looks like on the younger side, and Jackie, because of her height, she also looks like she's on the younger side. They look like very close in age. And Cole does not. I know like, puberty hits people like different, and I think Cole is supposed to be like older in the book. He's the older brother. I'm kind of confused as to if he is supposed to be in like the same grade as like Jackie. I'm a little confused about that. But if not, even if he's older, I just feel like he looks so much older than her. Not so much, but like he's giving more college, whereas like Jackie is giving like high school, and it's just like a little bit jarring. I'm sure as I watch the rest of the series, I'll get like used to it, but like those are my initial thoughts. Also, it's interesting to see people who from like other shows in this. Like I'm just calling them by their like what I know them from their shows characters names, but like Donna from Suits is in this. Farkle, who was in Girl Meets World, is in this playing like one of the brothers. And then I can't remember what I've seen him in, but I have seen him in stuff. The dad who plays like Jackie's adoptive father, who like also takes her in, he has been in stuff too. Now when I saw them all, I was like, oh, especially when I saw like the guy who played Farkle in A Girl Meets World, I was like, where do I know you from? Where do I know you from? Anywho, those are my initial thoughts. Let's get back into it. First episode is over. That, like, I don't even know why I didn't notice, like, when it said a Netflix series, but, like, the very distinctive font that, like, My Life with the Walter Boys was, like, written on, like, Wattpad, and when the book was, like, traditionally or, like, indie published, and, like, available, like, widely in stores, and that just gave me, like, oh, I feel so old. On a scale from one, I mean, it's very much like the first episode, there's 8 of them. I'm sure the story is gonna build over time. I would give it, like, a 6 in terms of enjoyment. It was, like, a lot of, like, world story building. I looked up the ages of the actors of like the main, like Cole, Jackie, and Alex, and they're all kind of in the same range, like 20 to 25. It's not really that big, but I just don't know in my head. And I know Cole's supposed to be a senior. Like I don't doubt that like boys at that age do look kind of that much older, but maybe it's just because Jackie and Alex, like the actor and actress playing them, look like so similar in both, like look like so young, whereas like Cole does not. It's just really throwing me off when they interact. Cole and Jackie. Not the end of the world though. I'm sure it'll grow on me as I end up probably finishing the show, but we'll see. Just like all the pieces, like I said before, started slotting in my memory as I was like watching more and more. The mean girl, the friends, the things like that, like them messing with her, like the first episode, which still like seems like crazy to me. I'm sure like they're just like rowdy and like the mom says like not used to having people in their space, but I'm like, they all know that like her whole family passed away. Like that was, I don't know why that wasn't like crazier to me when I was in like middle school, but I'm like, I'm sure also like they'll like, she'll grow on them like Jackie as she like stays longer with them and the boys will like warm up to her, but I'm like, I love TV. I'm probably gonna watch a couple more episodes before calling it a night because it's actually kind of late. It's about to be midnight and I have been having the worst case of like not going to sleep even semi on time. I'm probably gonna maybe watch, I don't know, I was gonna watch like 2 more episodes and I'll probably end up watching like all 8 of them tonight, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna try not to, but we'll see. In all realness, I really need this headband if I'm wearing the bonnet, but it's cute, so let me tie this a bit. I'm wearing clothes underneath this, but I'm like, let's keep it not scandalous, guys. I just took a shower. Now I'm doing all of my skincare to go to sleep. I did not go to sleep after episode like 2. I watched up until at the end of 5. Also, if you see me having like a lisp, it's because I have my retainer in now. Braces, girlies. I'm so scared about just like not being diligent with wearing it because the day my teeth start to spread, like when I don't wear it for a couple of days, I can feel like when I click it back in place, I'm like, my teeth shifted. Even slightly noticeably, I'm like, I'm not doing that. It just hurts also. Like I'll never forget the pain of like first putting my retainer in. I don't want that feeling ever again. 2, if my teeth ever start shifting after years of having braces, I didn't even have them half as long as I know like some people have them all. I'm like, no. But I watched up until episode 5, the end of episode 5, so I actually only have like 2 episodes left, I guess. It's a very easily like bingeable show. Okay, I should not be using this. I should be actually using like a real cotton pad, but they're just downstairs, not in the bathroom right now, so I'm gonna use this. So this is the camera I use. I did that episode 5. I did it on kind of a cliffhanger. I'm not gonna say what that cliffhanger was, but I don't want to spoil people who really haven't watched yet. You read the book, you know what happened. Let me put on the pastel a lot more lately so you guys can hear me. At this point, we've gotten, I mean, it was basically in the first episode that we were getting a lot of like, is she gonna be with Cole? Is she gonna be with like Alex? As I said, I've never been the biggest fan of love triangles, but like this is a very easily bingeable show. I'm happy that I chose it to like watch tonight. I don't even remember I'm doing my skincare. So somebody compared it to like if the Kissing Booth and Summer I Turned Pretty had a baby, and yeah. But I have not been watching my face recently, and I've been like breaking out, and I'm like, oh Devo, like why are you breaking out? Like, no shit. I gave it a 6 I think before, after I watched episode 1. When I said a 6, I was like, is that a really high rating? But it entertained me for the most part. I also know like anything you do to your face, you should be doing to your neck. I just have such a bad habit of that because I hate the water that runs down my neck when I do my skincare. What was I gonna say? Oh, I would give it like a 5. Now, nothing particularly wrong with it. The pacing is actually like pretty fine. If I'm assuming they're gonna have a 2nd season for this show, depending on like how it performs. I can't for the life of me not remember how the show ends. Not how they said it, how this book ends. My friend was asking me like, who does she end up with, like the older brother Cole or with the younger brother Alex? I cannot remember. I can't remember because I feel like the book was so long at that point. To be honest, I don't really think I read on Wattpad. It was felt so long at that point that I think the author started doing like some revisions of like the storyline. I can't remember if she got together with Cole, which was expected, I think, of most readers, or if they did like a little twist and we ended up with Alex. I feel like it's also all coming back to me that I'm remembering that like Alex had like a very much like an inferiority complex when it came to like Cole, and I can understand why, but I feel like they kind of maybe should have set it up like at least like a little better in the first episode, because I understand why he behaves like that, because as the episodes developed, at first it was just giving kind of like hater. I was like, hater mostly because him and both Cole honestly have these like just like kind of knee-jerk insta-lovish reactions to like Jackie. Part of me was like, why did you, especially to Alex, because we see him and Jackie kind of having their moment first. I'm like, why did you start liking her? There doesn't necessarily have to be a reason, but it's very much just like, he sees her, he starts liking her, and then when Cole sees Jackie, he starts liking her too, and it's like they kind of, I think Cola definitely doesn't seem invested. I don't even think he knows. Maybe, I'm not sure. There seems like there's hinting at that there's something that happened in the past with the brothers that plays like they might have liked the same girl in the past. I don't really think that's a spoiler because it's like pretty evident even from like the first like 1 or 2 episodes. Oh my god, the water is so hot. Wait, I'll be right back. I need to wash this off my face. Okay, I'm dripping. I dropped my tire. But yeah, Cole and what's his name, Alex, fall in love with Jackie in these very like insta-lovish ways that are probably like very much how the book was. But it just felt very jarring from the first episode because I was like, do you both just like her because she's like the only girl that's your age just that has like moved into the house? There doesn't necessarily need to be a reason, but I was like, no kind of build up at all. Next up. But I think more than anything, I enjoyed like the nostalgia just of like watching the show. Maybe I'll go back like and see like when Living with the Walter Boys was like first published, and it's gonna make me feel like so old. Because I remember like one it used to rank like high, at least like within the top 5, like in the teen category on like Wattpad, and I'd be like, oh my god, a new chapter. There are so many Wattpad authors that I used to read from when I was younger who, you know, Wattpad, at least in my heyday, in my Wattpad heyday, I used to know a Wattpad author was good when it came to their original stories when they, I think when they kind of like created like kind of like a photoshopped cover themselves that maybe it was like good, it wasn't that great though, but then when you can tell that they had either commissioned somebody or somebody had reached out and made them like a superb like new like fresh original cover, ooh, that's when you knew magic was gonna start happening. There's so many authors that like I think back on like, especially like the YA books I read, or they would be categorized as like teen, who were writing they were writing bangers on Wattpad. I know like Wattpad definitely gets like, as like a lot of spaces, communities like that get like roped for like producing like terrible work, but I feel like, especially because considering that like a lot of the people were like my age, like I was reading books like that written by like also like 14-year-olds, and like I remember going back to some of those books, like the ones that I like really keenly remember, and reading them and being like, as somebody who's like a bit older, and being like, okay, these of course maybe like need some work, but they're not terrible. Like, and that's what just still so impresses me as somebody who like writes, that I'm like, wow, you were already hitting gold at such a young age. And then of course like we all know kind of the way people will be like, oh, like Wattpad authors would like disappear, or like AO3 authors would disappear and then come back and be like, oh, like something like devastated happened, but like here's chapter like 33, and we'd all be like, and then it's like the best piece of literature you've ever written. I checked up on this author, I think this is also sparked by like I checked up on this author, I love putting this on my face, in my neck, sorry, author very recently, who's still actually writing. I think they updated, which like I said, a story very recently that they published in like the summer of like this year, and I was like, oh my god, you're still writing on Wattpad, that makes me so happy. I'm being shocked that this moisturizer is done, like I don't use the hell out of it. But I really feel like, where am I going with this? I just really hope they're finding all the success they brought me. I don't know, because like so many Wattpad stories, of course I read like traditionally published books a lot when I was younger. I bought from the library, I used to sit in Barnes & Noble and read when I was much younger, but Wattpad stories just like brought me so much joy. And there was also nothing like, there's no community like a Wattpad comment section. Like there's just nothing like reading your favorite chapter and then like there's this one author particularly who also used to write like great like small like short stories. I wonder how they're doing now. I just hope like all my favorite Wattpad authors are like doing like really well now, and like it would make me happy. I feel like I'll put on my lips up now. Guys, growing up, my hands are too slippery. No. Okay. My grandma used to love Bliss eggs, and like I think my family in general. I just remember so distinctly my grandma used to have like the blue on, like on lock. Like whoever needed like chapstick, Bliss eggs. I am someone who just like suffered from chapstick for like the longest time. Of course, drinking water. Girl, you have to drink water. I like was so abhorred about that when I was younger. But being older, there is just nothing like this one for me. Like the DCT in particular. If you would just wear this overnight, you wake up, it's smooth. I'm gonna put on some healing ointment because it feels so weird doing my skincare, but I really need to get back in the groove a bit because there is nothing that gives me like routine in my life like doing my skincare routine. Like I used to be so good about it when I was in college. I've tried to do less of like, I really used to pack on the healing ointment before, but then like I found out like I have combination skin, and so I really should not be putting too much, but it really does help me with like my skin barrier, especially when it's getting like colder. I used to be like so on lock about doing my skincare routine in like college. It just gave me such a sense of routine because like I knew as soon as I do my skincare routine, my day is over. Like, do not come see me. Maybe I would be like out and about in like the hall just like with my friends, but like otherwise it was just like I know I finished like my work, I'm going to sit down if my skincare routine is like done. That was basically like what my night care routine, I wipe up the sink like this because I spilled water all over it, usually looks like. Some exceptions, but I'm like maybe I'll do another video with like just like a more specific thing of like what I do for maybe like my morning and night. Let me know if you guys would wanna watch it. Okay, now it's like far too late than I should be like awake for it, and so I'm going to go. I have errands to run technically today because it's like time in the morning. I'm not gonna say because I should not be awake. But good night, and I'll see you guys later today to run some errands. Good morning, everyone. Of course, not actually. Good morning. Good morning. Not actually. Good morning. Good morning. I don't care. I love when people commit to the bit of like filming themselves, like lifestyle vloggers, like in the morning, and you obviously know, of course, that they're not just waking up in bed. We've obviously had to like set up the camera and stuff. I respect it. It's reminds me of just like acting out a movie. I love it. But it's a kind of gloomy day today. I can't believe I'm just talking to you guys like this. It's a kind of gloomy day today. I'm gonna run a few errands with my mom's. Probably like Christmas oriented. I've been thinking of maybe, it's been so long, we're trying to find like the fees. What's his name? Snoopy Puffer, the little like Christmas guy that's been at like CVS's. I probably won't find him at this point. It's been like weeks and he was sold out everywhere. And then maybe I'll get my flu shot, because that is a necessity. But yeah, kids, don't be like me and stay up super late and then the next day being like, why am I so tired? This is why you're tired, Diva. In my house, you can turn on heat in different rooms in the house, like specific rooms, and everybody else has their heat on, and I like to keep it not like an ice box in here, but I'm someone who like sweats profusely, and so this is my, it dries up my skin, but this is my time to shine. Okay, let's brush our teeth, wash our face, and it's breakfast. Every time I do like my skincare now, I think of that like Wan Young meme that went viral. Was it like a year ago? Well, it feels so long at this point. I was like,
plump, glowing, hydration, boost. Plump, glowing, hydration, boost.
Okay, so I officially did all. I'm like finally really feel like I'm waking up now. Riding in bed for like another hour after I woke up. If anybody, I put some healing oil on my lips now, which is what I like to try to wear during the day. DCT is more for like care like at night. I got a like 3-tier tripod from Walmart the other day to just like do better filming and taller filming, and so I'm going to unbox that now, and then I'm going to get dressed to run some errands. So I'm gonna go to the mechanic, and then we're gonna get some like Christmas stuff, and then I'm gonna come back and probably clean my room. That would be smart. That would be the right thing to do. Will I do it? Probably clean it enough until it doesn't feel as messy as it feels right now. Okay, I unboxed it right now, like raised a little. I feel like you guys have never been able to kind of see me from a taller height before. I haven't locked the camera in place, which is bad, but I'm trying to figure out how to configure like the legs of this. And I feel like I'll be able to make videos now where I'm like standing and talking like this. So standing like talking in a way that's like not in the bathroom, and so I'm not gonna lie, I said I was going to change to run errands, but I might wear this. Maybe I just put on like my black and white sneakers and we'll call it a day. Also, it's basically like lunchtime now, and so like I'm just going to get like lunch when we go outside, instead of like I had some juice instead of eating breakfast. You should also not do that, but like I said, it was like 12:30 when I woke up, so maybe not. Maybe it wasn't good morning, but good afternoon. Sorry, I lied. But let's go. Okay, it's raining. I just went to the mechanic to address what I needed to address, and I'm going to get some lunch now because I am super hungry. And I'm gonna get some Culvers. I'm not really picky about what I want to eat today. You know, like sometimes you have like a taste for things. I really don't right now. I feel like I could go for fries though. So let's go make my playlist first. I haven't listened to the Aux in my car in a while. I've just been letting the radio play, but I think this will sustain me until I get there. Let's go. I don't want to go to Culver's though. Is there a Red Robin around here? There's actually not that many places around here that make turkey burgers, which is a bit frustrating. Oh, the sun is coming out. As someone who's never necessarily tuned into CT Dreams discography before, this is a great fucking song. Wow, it feels so long ago, like so long ago. I remember watching the debut stages of this song when it came out. Ooh. For being one of Shiny's best B-sides, I simply feel like the song doesn't get enough love.
Then the destination is on your right.
Thank you, Siri. DM is such a cute song. It's actually crazy to think about how, in the grand scheme of things, it was Promise 9 that got hit the hardest by like the produced Mnet like rigging scandal. Because they were on such an after I feel like it was when Love Bomb released, and then the rigging scandal was they already got a lot of flack in the beginning of their career for like only voting for individuals, things like that. People suspected that it was rigged, but like the formal rigging amount I feel like is what really killed the upward trajectory. Like I feel like it doesn't have to be a conspiracy theory, but they should be a lot bigger than they are now because their performances are also pretty good. Okay, that's the end of my rant. Let's go to my turkey burger. I have my food. I'm low-key so tempted to eat in the car because of how I'm gonna have a fry at least. I'm hungry, and I came out to realize that I'd left my park lights on. This is so good. You know when you haven't had something in a long time and it tastes like so much better? I remember? Yeah. I like the thing about my vlogs is that I've always been super hesitant to do one because, to be quite frank, I don't do a lot, and I feel like I always felt very like embarrassed about that. Like sometimes I have like plans on the weekends, but more often than not, like my Saturday and Sunday are very much like for me, and that's something I'm trying to change in 2024, like going out just more, doing more things, even with other people, like just by myself maybe. Also today is like such a gloomy day. If you guys can't tell, it's like been on and off raining, maybe like spots of sunshine. So this is all to say, like I'm like I should just go back home and eat my burger in my house and finish the rest of like the Walter Boys show. I sound like a broken record at this point, but I'm still like flabbergasted by the fact that like everybody's been this is like the way it happened in the book, I know, but like everybody is trying to push up on Jackie with the understanding that like push up on Jackie, whether romantically or like some people at school being like mean to her, that her whole family like just died. I don't know if I just like can't remember. I just didn't remember that she had an older sister in the book, but if she did, I don't know, that made it just like so much more. Oh, this is why we don't eat in the car. As far as like it's time for a watch anyway though. No, when I watched that yesterday and realized that like they had all died picking, like her mom and dad had died picking up her sister from like college, I'm assuming for like maybe winter break or something, and then her older sister also died, I'm like, it just felt like so much more traumatic to me for some reason. And then she goes to Colorado. I feel like I really love the shots that they're doing, like, oh, I want to live in a small town so bad when I see like shows like this where they have like just like this huge plot of land, like the Walter family, that you have to like drive up this huge road to get to. It just seems very serene. If she doesn't have like Cole and Alex like pushing up on her like romantically, you have like people at school being mean to her, and I'm like kind of just like not like ignoring the fact that like her whole family just died, but I'm like, I feel like people will mention it outside of like, if it's not like her adoptive parents who like seem to be like, or like some members of like the family who seem to be like taking it who seem to be taking it like very seriously, it's like no one understands, it seems like, how traumatic, and I feel like no one can understand. Of course like the redemption arcs come into play like over the course of the story. I'm 5 episodes in, so like people's attitudes have changed, but I was just so much very like, I don't know, it's like I don't, did I expect the show to take itself like very, very seriously? No, but maybe just because I'm older now, I'm like, also I feel like maybe I remember her being like more snooty or like She is in the show, but like maybe like more snooty or like bougie posh like in the book, and it came off like more harshly. But in the show, she's like pretty regular. Maybe she has some like maybe she's like a stick in the mud in some moments, but she like very much that's like that was her upbringing, that's how she grew up. And also like I give her a lot of grace because again her whole family just died. Maybe I'm the only one who remembers that, but let me not finish this all. I'm gonna eat the rest of this at home. I was thinking about getting the Snoopy and the Puffer jacket. That is way sold out. I don't even know what I was thinking. It is gone. And people are selling it on like eBay and Mercari for like $60, $100. I think he's cute, but I'm not crazy. I may go to Walmart and get some like Christmas pajamas because we're gonna set up the Christmas tree maybe today or tomorrow. But that's my Saturday. Okay, let's go so I'm not just sitting in the parking lot. Do you ever like make playlists and then you're fully convinced you know exactly what you're gonna want to play every time you get in the car when you put on the aux, and then you're like, I don't like any of this. I'm just not in the mood to listen to what I've put on like my playlist, and I'm not going to sit here for the rest of the world figuring this out, so I'm just gonna play the radio. Hey guys, I finished my burger and the fries. I devoured it, and then I just laid in bed. Not in my outside clothes, I just put these back on because I'm going back outside. I also got the stand to work. It's like lifted up right now, but let me tilt it. You guys, I'm gonna get back into the fires. Go to bed. You can see how that works with hands. We're gonna go get some Christmas-oriented pajamas and stuff just to get in the holiday spirit, but I devoured that burger. It was delicious. I could have gotten some. You could give me some more fries. It's okay. I feel like every time I watch people's vlogs, I'm like, oh, my life has to be like more exciting to like record my weekend, but I'm like, I'm sure there are also girlies who live at home in their 20s who don't do that much and go out sometimes and are trying to make friends to find stuff to do with, and as much as they enjoy doing stuff by themselves, they're also trying to find like friends to do stuff with, and so they do a lot of solo stuff that are maybe watching my channel, so that's you. Hey girl, hey best friend. So let me go put back on my sneakers and go finish my Snapple. We are in Walmart. I fell asleep in the car, so please excuse my groggy voice. Looking for Christmas winter themed pajamas to get in the festive spirit. Were things always expensive? After some waffling and some decision making, we got the pajamas, but now we have to get the bed skirt for the tree because we forgot, so time to go to Dollar Tree. We went to Family Dollar, but they didn't have everything we were looking for. Especially, I mean, I haven't decorated a tree in what feels like forever, but they didn't have like really like a tree topper or exactly what we were. We got a tablecloth as a bed skirt though, so innovation. But we're gonna go to Dollar Tree to see if they have. We got some ornaments though that are very cute, like a 70 pack for it, and not that expensive. So go to Dollar Tree if you're looking to decorate your tree.
Turn right.
Dollar Tree is huge. Like, I don't think this would be an over-exaggeration to say this is the biggest Dollar Tree I think I've ever been in. Like, this is how big it is. Oh, this is how far back it is. I'm usually used to like Dollar Trees stopping like here. You guys will literally never believe how long I've been untangling this ball. It's been hours, days, weeks, months. You guys can see the Christmas tree in the vantage point though, and that's Skylar's red hair, and that's Mom's Santa hat, if you guys can see.
Hey! What up? What up?
And now everybody is helping me because we already put up the ornaments and like
The star that glows.
she was putting baby powder on the she put baby powder on the lights to untangle them. Okay, hey guys, did we untangle the lights? No. Will we? Yes. Perseverance. Oh, get up, Frank. We're gonna end off the night like this. Just everybody, so you guys can show us our, we can show you guys our little pajama pants. So we're gonna end off the night with just like a little picture. So 1, 2, 3. Look at that, guys. Hey guys, long story short, I didn't read tonight. I didn't finish watching Boys. I just kind of laid in bed, which honestly at this point it's like fairly late, so I honestly just felt like wrapping up the night. I was just kind of procrastinating and I was like, do I want to read? I was like, I know what I'm in the mood to read, and I just wasn't at the moment, which is interesting. And I'm just getting ready for bed. I floss, shower, skincare, brush my teeth, all that good stuff. I'm just like wrapping up the night, and you guys can join me as I do that. Pretty sexy. Well, okay guys, well, this is such an interesting angle. I'm going to put on the rest of my skincare in my room. I just wanted to wash my face in the bathroom. But this has been a fun spending the weekend with you guys. I feel like the more I talk to the camera, the more talking to an audience just starts to feel like talking to like a close friend, like I'm on FaceTime, and that is the goal. So back to the grind, back to work. So good night. I hope everybody has a great start to the week. By the time I post this, the weekend would have already passed, but you never heard that from me. Hey guys.